I remember when I moved my family to San Antonio, it was super stressful. But one of the things that I absolutely wanted was a neighborhood that my family felt safe in, had good schools, was close to all the shopping and amenities, all those things. This is what we're looking for as fathers, right?
100%.
In this video, we are talking about a neighborhood that we feel is perfect for every single family that's moving to San Antonio. We're gonna talk about why. Stick around.
Hey, before we get started, if you are moving your family to San Antonio, please send us a text or call that number that's popping up on the screen, or you can even check out our website, www.alamocitylivingteam.com, and we'll be able to help you out, develop a game plan, and help move your family here to San Antonio. Guys, we're out here today at Davis Ranch, man. This is a neighborhood that I think gets overlooked a little bit, right?
Overlooked?
Yeah,
I don't know,
so.
man. This neighborhood.
It flew under our radar for a little bit of time.
For a little while, but I mean, this is a massive master plan community.
It is,
right?
man. You're 100% right. They started building this neighborhood in 2018, and I thought they were almost done. I'll be really honest with you. But we talked to a couple of the reps, and turns out they still have 2 other phases that they haven't even opened yet. They're clearing it all now. We drove back there a little while ago, and it is massive. There is tons more here that's being done. Now, this neighborhood does sit just south of Helotes, so if you're looking at it on a map, it's like 1 exit away from Helotes, and you're only about 2 exits away from Alamo Ranch.
Right.
So the cool thing about living over here is that you have access to pretty much whatever you want, right? You're in between the highways, I-10 and 151. So if you're going into town, you can choose pretty much whatever way you'd want to go. Probably go 151. It's usually a little bit less crowded than I-10 is. But that being said, you're kind of pretty centrally located, despite being located outside of 1604. One thing I do want to highlight with this, man, if you don't know about Davis Ranch, the cool thing about this is that it butts up directly against Government Canyon State Park.
Yes, like, it does.
Directly in the back.
Which is really awesome, and we'll get to that later when we're talking about recreation in the area. But
I couldn't help myself.
That I know. I
couldn't help
almost
myself.
Ruined it.
Sorry,
but
guys.
To be exact, we are 3.5 miles outside of the 1604 loop, and you know, you hear us talk about traffic a lot. We won't get into traffic in San Antonio, but this is about a 9-minute drive. Right now, it's midday on the day of this filming. And it took us about 9 minutes from 1604 to get to Davis Ranch. So that might give you a little bit of understanding when it comes to like traffic and commute.
For sure.
Right? All right, when we are talking about the perfect neighborhood for every family, really we're putting ourselves in a situation of the dad, the father, who's moving their family to a neighborhood that we feel is going to be best for their development, growth, security, and everything.
We're looking out for what's important, what would be important to us.
Right. And one of those things is going to be schools.
That's big.
School districts. What makes this neighborhood perfect for any family who's looking for a really good school?
For sure, man. So first of all, Davis Ranch does sit within Northside Independent School District. It's one of the largest school districts in San Antonio. It's good, really highly rated. I think out of about 1,000 school districts in Texas, I want to say it was right around 100 or so. So top 10%-ish, right? Now, the cool thing about Northside Independent School District is that there's so many different schools. So for this neighborhood in particular, your high school, which is Sotomayor High School, built in 2022, is only about 6-minute drive, right? But if you have kiddos in elementary school and you have kiddos in middle school, you're in luck because this neighborhood has both of those in there. And that's, I mean, like walking distance.
Right,
man.
right at the front of the neighborhood. I remember when I was a kid in elementary school, I used to catch the bus. And where my school was located, it was in a subdivision or in a neighborhood like this one.
Yeah.
And I remember feeling so jealous that all those kids got to ride their bikes and walk to school, and I couldn't do it.
For real. So I had to walk to school. I was one of those who had to walk. Oh yeah, I had to walk to school. And it was uphill both ways, in case you're wondering. No, it was uphill though. We had to walk up to the school, and it sucked, man, because it didn't matter the weather. It was hot, you know, it's hot here in San Antonio. So I was walking up the hill to school every single day, but I had to do that. And it was hindsight's 2020, right? I'm like, okay, yeah, it was really convenient and probably saved on a lot of gas. But at the time, I didn't see that.
Well, if you're a parent who, you know, works early in the mornings and, you know, you've got some good neighbors, the good thing is your kids can walk to school in this neighborhood. Now, like you mentioned, they are opening up 2 more sections further back in the neighborhood, which is going to be a good mile walk, though. I mean, this is a massive development, and so if your kids are riding their bike or walking to school, it is going to be a further walk if you end up purchasing in that part of the neighborhood.
If you're building from this point, 2024 and on, probably just drop your kids off. Your kids are going to be real upset with you if you make them walk. All right, so again, we are talking about this being one of the best neighborhoods for families who are moving here. And one of those reasons why is the proximity to entertainment, right? Shopping, restaurants, things like this. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. When it comes to shopping, there's lots of things around here. You know, a man cannot live on Amazon alone. Right? So sometimes you have to actually get out and pick things up yourself. And so with that, you are not far from Alamo Ranch, which is going to have pretty much everything that you need. Lowe's and Home Depot, Target, Walmart's over there, a lot of restaurants. So if you're a foodie and you like to eat, you don't have to go all the way downtown, get stuck in the tourist traps down there.
Yeah, that's another misconception too. People think you have to drive all the way into downtown to get restaurants. This is kind of a side note, but you don't. Everything's really spread out and there's restaurants everywhere, but especially here.
Now, you are just down the highway from La Cantera, right? You're about 20 minutes from La Cantera, the Rim, which is gonna have even more eateries, things like that.
Eateries?
Eateries, man. You know, restaurants.
I like that. You sound cultured right now, man. I like that.
I've been reading a little bit. Now, if you have little kids and you want to get out and do things with them, we did mention Government Canyon State Park. This neighborhood butts up right next to Government Canyon State Park. We have mentioned this time and time again in some of our other videos. It is an amazing place to hang out for the day. It's massive. Dinosaur tracks, hiking trails, so many things to do there, picnic and all that sort of thing. You've got SeaWorld, which is right down the street, and you have Six Flags, which is the opposite direction off 1604 as well. So if you want to get out to the zoo and to the Japanese tea gardens, you're about 25-30 minutes from that. So there's a lot nearby here for families to do.
For sure.
And then if you don't want to do a lot of driving and you just want to have a nice relaxing day, you do have an amenity center in this neighborhood with a playground, a swimming pool, and we just learned today that they are building another pool and amenity center in that other section of the neighborhood that we mentioned that they are starting development on right now.
So regardless of where you move, you're gonna have an amenity center that you can go to and probably within walking distance.
Now, another thing that us dads are really concerned with when we're moving our family across the country or anywhere in general is going to be cost of living, finances. Everybody's feeling, you know, the tension when it comes to inflation. And a lot of people are moving to San Antonio in Texas because cost of living is a lot lower than where they're coming from. Well, this neighborhood is going to be perfect for your family because it is outside of San Antonio city limits, which means you're not paying city taxes. And the tax rate for this neighborhood is going to be 1.85%, which is amazingly low.
Yeah, especially when you consider the other neighborhoods that are, I mean, maybe a 5-6 minute drive, that their tax rate's more like 2.34, 2.32. That's a pretty significant difference, right? So you're paying almost 0.5% less to live in this neighborhood.
And that's going to be really good. For those of you who are veterans that have a VA disability ratings, you can go ahead and add that another discount to your property taxes there, which is going to save you even more money. So really all around, when we say that this neighborhood is going to be perfect for any family of any budget, we really mean that when it comes to finances.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's talk about home prices for a second, right? Because we haven't touched on that's the big elephant in the room, right? So here's the cool thing about this neighborhood, right? There's builders in this neighborhood like Centex, Pulte, Highland, Coventry, and even David Weekley, which is the home that we're standing in right now. We're standing in one of the model homes. So when it comes to that, I believe that these homes are going to be starting in the low to mid threes. On the website, it might say like mid to high twos, but realistically with inflation and as time has gone on, they've gotten more expensive. So you're probably going to be looking more around the low to mid threes.
Right. And there's floor plans for pretty much anyone. So whether you're moving up because your family is growing, or maybe you're wanting to downsize, you can find floor plans in the 1,200 square foot range. And so there really is something for pretty much everyone in this neighborhood. So that's pretty cool.
For sure.
When we're talking about lot sizes, guys, right now, the homes that are currently in development in the current phases are about in the 50 and 60 foot range. Now, the next couple of sections that they'll start development on, I think right at the end of the year, those are going to be those 70 foot lots.
And that's big, man. 70-foot lots are huge. Typically, that means that you're going to be able to fit a 3-car garage in there. Now, with those 70-foot lots, they are going to be offering lots that are like in the 40s and I think the 50s as well. But they are going to add that to kind of close everything out over the course of the next few years.
All right, guys, I want to jump back into recreation real quick. And here's why. I know that we talked about this neighborhood being right next to Government Canyon State Park, but believe it or not, we've had a lot of folks reach out to us lately who are interested in moving to the north and north central part of San Antonio. And the reasons that they state is because they want to be closer to, say, the Comal River and New Braunfels, because they love the outdoors, which is great. Those areas of town are beautiful. And yes, it is much closer to New Braunfels than even Austin if you have, family or business up in Austin. But what thing that we always have to tell folks is that you are not much further away living here on the far west side of town, are you?
No, not at all. As a matter of fact, I mean, a lot of the people, whenever they want to go do outdoor stuff, they go to places like Bernie, right? Bernie, Texas. No, it's not pronounced Born. If you don't know, it's pronounced Bernie, so don't sound like a tourist. That being said, if you are going to Bernie, you're looking at about a 30 to 40 minute drive, maybe, and that's to get like to the middle of Bernie, right? There's tons of stuff there, right? You have lakes, you have rivers, you have other things that you can do, tons of outdoor activities. And not to mention, if you want to go the other direction, you can go to Castroville, right? They have their state park out there, or their city park.
You've got Castroville City Park, which we recently discovered for our family. We do some fishing out there, which is very close. And then if you continue on 90, there are some state parks that direction as well. Garner State Park, which we've mentioned in some of our videos, which is one of Texas's most famous state parks. So
Medina Lake too.
Medina Lake, well,
it's not dried up.
When it's not dried up is within driving distance, and then you're also not very far from Canyon Lake. So you don't have to live in that north central part of town for the sole purpose of being closer to outdoor activities.
That's a great point. All right, so as I mentioned, we are in a David Weekley model home here, right? And we would be doing you guys a disservice if we didn't do a walkthrough like we do in our other videos. So come with us. We're going to go show you guys this home and show you what one of these awesome builders has to offer.
All right, guys, we hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. We do post videos every single week and you do not want to miss them. This is also our information popping up on the screen. So make sure you give us a call, shoot us a text, or give us an email. Write an email. We'd love to help you guys out.